and welcome. I'm Ankit Tuteja and you are watching Tech It Out. This week we tell you how the Indian government is planning to stop the menace of fraud calls. We show you a robot that can explore the challenging terrain of caves on the moon and Mars. And we introduce you to some high-tech gadgets that can help you take better care of your pets. Let's get started. Many of us have received calls from people pretending to be from a bank or police. These fraudulent calls are on the rise, and therefore the Indian government has come up with a new way to tackle this issue. We get you more details in this report.
बैंक से स्वाति बात कर रही हूँ। सर आपका एटीएम कार्ड एक्सपायर
सर आपके कार्ड पे एक नंबर होगा 16 अंकों का।
क्रेडिट पॉइंट अगले हफ्ते एक्सपायर हो रहा है।
Fraudulent calls are becoming increasingly common. They can put your personal information and banking data at risk. To protect citizens from fraudulent calls, the Indian government has rolled out a new phone number series. As per the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, all transactional and service voice calls from financial entities such as banks, investment firms, and insurance companies will begin with 160. The prefix 160 will help in the easy identification of the calling entity. In other words, people will be able to distinguish legitimate calls from those made by scammers posing as government officials. It's a project that will be rolled out in a phased manner. In the first phase, the 160 mobile phone series has been allocated for entities regulated by the Reserve Bank of India, the Securities and Exchange Board of India, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, and the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority. It will be gradually expanded to include all banks and telecom service providers. This holistic approach aims to create a safer communication environment for everyone involved in financial transactions and, most importantly, to fight online banking fraud.
On Tech It Out, we keep bringing you updates from the world of robotics. Researchers have now developed an insect-like robot that could prove to be quite useful in space exploration. Here is more.
Look at this. This is Reachbot, an insect-like robot designed to explore the challenging terrain of caves on the moon and even Mars. Developed by a team of researchers at the Stanford University, Reachbot will be able to scan its surroundings and identify graspable points on rocky surfaces. It is similar to the mechanism of a multi-fingered hand that could let it explore places currently out of reach.
So the end goal, at least for planetary exploration, is to go places where no robot has been able to go before.
Before it can be used to explore caves in the solar system, researchers put to test a Reachbot prototype in the Mojave Desert in California. The trial proved to be a success. It confirmed the bot's ability to identify and securely grasp multiple sites, demonstrating its potential for future planetary exploration.
Reachbot, at least in part, is inspired by animals like the daddy longlegs, which has a very small body and very long limbs or appendages. The thought was, well, what if you could have a robot, a small robot about the size of a suitcase, let's say, that has extremely long limbs, that it can reach out and grab the sides of the cave with grippers and then manipulate itself by alternately attaching, retracting, and extending those limbs.
Meanwhile, researchers are experimenting with different prototypes. At the moment, the Reachbot features a small body and long extendable appendages with grippers. The Mars-ready robot will have custom-engineered extendable booms, but its prototypes have a modest start.
These arms are made out of space booms. Just imagine them as a 3D tape measure. They coil up really small and they can extend really long. And then at the end of each of these boom, you have grippers. and maybe additional sensing element where you can see where you're grasping more closely, and also gripper actually interacting with the surface.
Further prototyping is still needed, but researchers are hoping Reachbot and other similar robots could play a big role in space exploration.
We always introduce you to new technologies that can make your experience better, be it gadgets or apps. Today as well, we will share with you new devices and exciting tech solutions. But here is a twist. They are not just for you. These innovations can also prove to be quite useful for your pets. More details in this report.
Flying cars, humanoid robots, and AI-powered gadgets. We have reached an era of technology that is nothing short of sci-fi movies. But innovation isn't just for humans. Technology has now expanded to involve animals as well. From furry friends to winged creatures, here's a list of tech innovations for all those animal lovers out there. This is an AI-powered smartphone app. It lets you know when your cat is in pain. Called CatsMe, the app can be used by owners to monitor their pet's health. Mayumi Kitakata has been using CatsMe to monitor her 14-year-old cat, Chi. She says it helps her decide when to visit the veterinarian.
These yellow marks are when the app indicated that the cat showed pain. If it continues for a while, in my case, I will consult the vet over the phone. If it keeps showing results like this for several days, I will realize something's wrong.
The AI model of the Japanese smartphone app has been trained on 6,000 pictures of cats. The app's developers expect its level of accuracy to improve as the AI model continues to train on more feline faces.
The AI can determine how much the cat's current facial expression coincides with the rated faces. We already have reports of cats that were in fact in pain, so we were able to give that feedback to the software. As a result, the app is more than 95% accurate.
Since its launch in 2023, CatsMe has been used by over 230,000 customers. Another AI-powered innovation that focuses on our feline friends is a smart cat flap. Fitted with an infrared camera and trained on thousands of cat images, it prevents cats from bringing prey like dead mice inside the house. If the camera detects a cat with prey, the flap locks, ensuring the house stays free from rodents.
We use AI with our data that we've collected over the years. So what we do is we have an infrared camera, a night vision camera on the outside, and every time that your cat wants to enter the door, it scans its face. So as soon as it detects prey, it immediately locks the door, and the cat has to wait outside until it then tries again without any prey.
Meet Oro, an AI-powered robotic monitor and companion for your dogs. The high-tech robot is designed to learn about each dog and understand their body gestures. Not just that, the robot can also learn about your furry friend's favorite games to keep a watchful eye on them.
We determine a lot of the context of the environment by just seeing the environment, what your dog is doing, and determining the context of the scenario in the physical space. So it has the spatial awareness of the entire room with your dog in it.
Look at this. It's a high-tech pet door for the dog. The Pawport pet door is made of solid steel and aluminium and can slide over your existing pet door to create a secure, weatherproof portal. Pawport's secure seal and lock keep your home safe from pests and curious intruders. But how does the gadget work? The door opens and closes based on your dog's proximity to the door by detecting a tag on your pet's collar. This tag even collects data on when your dog is using the door. Additionally, the pet door also comes with an app that allows you to lock and unlock the door remotely. Fourport is built to bring added security to your home, giving you a simple way to monitor your existing pet door. This belongs to the world of nature technology, an AI-powered bird feeder. The feeder is equipped with a camera that helps bird watchers identify various species. The feeding mechanism helps the AI program recognize and record over 6,000 species, providing real-time updates on visiting birds.
It recognizes and also it tells you what species it's visiting. Like cardinal is here and long-tailed tit just like here, and also we have oriole like here. So it tells you what species visiting, and also it collects the birds on your phone. So you get to know how many birds are visiting, and also you got to see by different category.
It's time to talk about a new innovation that aims to help individuals with mobility impairments. I'm talking about a smart wheelchair that aims to empower the differently abled with the freedom to move around independently. Here is more.
Wheelchairs provide individuals with the freedom to move, but they usually require another person's help. Moreover, the strength required to move a traditional wheelchair and the limitation to covering long distances are some of the other downsides. Enter Move-O-Brain. Built by a team of young Tunisian women engineers, the smart wheelchair allows users to move it through a touchpad, voice command, facial gestures, and most impressively, their brain waves.
The idea of Move-O-Brain came from the needs of these people to develop technology that would allow them to control their wheelchair without even moving their hands. Even if they don't speak or their voice isn't very clear, they can still move and steer their wheelchair using their thoughts or facial expressions. They can also control the wheelchair by the sound of the voice if they wear it well.
Le pilotage par la voix معناتها صوته واضح والكل معناتها ينجم يكمل بالصوت.
The inspiration for the smart wheelchair comes from the personal experience of a team member.
I have an uncle who was disabled and had health problems. He had to use a wheelchair to move around. Unfortunately, he was totally dependent, so the need was right in front of my eyes. I talked to my friends and we decided to do something with the technology we mastered so that we can make a product afterwards. There are so many people who could benefit from it.
The team's international success comes despite Tunisia's growing economic and political turmoil in recent years. In fact, the smart wheelchair has been shortlisted from over 550 applicants for the final round of the Young Inventors Prize. Launched by the European Patent Office in 2021, the Young Inventors Prize celebrates innovators under the age of 30 who, with their scientific and technological inventions, aim to address critical global issues set out in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. This year, the all-female team will compete against two other finalists from the Netherlands and Ukraine for the top prize on July 9th in Malta. The investors say that even though each smart chair costs around $2,100, they hope to ensure that technology is accessible to as many people as possible, including those in less well-off countries.
On Tech It Out, we keep bringing you interesting and inspiring stories from around the world. In this story, we introduce you to an 89-year-old app developer. Watch this report and find out about his latest creations.
Meet Tomiji Suzuki from Japan. At 89 years old, Tomiji Suzuki is challenging stereotypes. How? By developing applications targeted at the elderly. Suzuki used to work at a trading house. However, he later developed an interest in computing, taking a programming course in the early 2010s. Suzuki started coding in retirement. He is now making apps for Japan's fast-growing elderly demographic.
I like creating things. I like new things. So when I discovered I can develop apps myself, and if I do, Apple will market them worldwide. Just like that, it was a very attractive idea.
far, Suzuki has developed 11 free iPhone apps to help Japan's aging population. This is his latest creation, a slideshow of items to remember when leaving the house, such as a wallet and hearing aid. Suzuki was inspired to create the app after he realized that he had forgotten his denture as he was about to board a bullet train.
No matter how hard they tried, I don't think youngsters understand the needs and expectations of the elderly. I don't think that they can. So I think it means we, the elderly, have our own role to play here.
One of his most popular apps is Peak Count Record, which gets 30 downloads each week despite no marketing spent. This was created after Suzuki had hernia surgery 2 years ago. The nurses would ask him how many times he had passed urine. As he could not remember recording the number, he decided to make an app to help keep track. Interestingly, like many young programmers, Suzuki also relies on ChatGPT to fine-tune his skills. Suzuki describes ChatGPT as a great teacher. He's even published a book about using it as a programming mentor. Understand that nearly a third of Japan's population is aged 65 and above, making it the world's second oldest country after tiny Monaco. The plummeting birth rate has raised fears of a looming demographic crisis with not enough workers to support the growing ranks of retired. Therefore, these apps come in handy for the elderly. According to Suzuki, it isn't easy to become an elderly app developer. But once you start making apps, it becomes an enjoyable activity.
Once you delve into this world, you will see that it's a lot of fun. If you don't have anything to do after retirement, please look into it. You could discover a new self.
YouTube is testing a new feature for videos. Software giant Adobe has been accused of trapping customers. The week gone by was buzzing with a lot of interesting tech developments, and we bring you the most important ones in a tech wrap.
Alphabet's YouTube will soon allow users to add notes that will provide context to some of its videos. As part of the initial test phase, YouTube will invite certain users and creators to write notes that are meant to provide relevant, timely and easy to understand context on videos. The notes, for instance, could clarify when a song is meant to be a parody or let viewers know when older footage is mistakenly portrayed as a current event. The notes feature on YouTube will be available initially on mobile to users in the US. Viewers in the US will start to see notes on videos in the coming weeks. The US government has sued Adobe. The government has accused the Photoshop and Acrobat maker of harming consumers by concealing hefty termination fees in its most popular subscription plan, making it difficult to cancel subscriptions. According to the complaint filed by the Federal Trade Commission, Adobe buries the fees, which sometimes reaches hundreds of dollars, and other important items in its annual paid monthly subscription plan in the fine print or behind text boxes and hyperlinks. That's not all. It's reported that Adobe calculates early termination fees as 50% of the remaining payments when consumers cancel in their first year. According to the International Olympic Committee, the Olympics is expected to generate more than 500 million social media engagements during the 16 days of the event. Therefore, the IOC has come up with a plan to protect athletes from cyber abuse. Organizers will deploy AI to block any abuse on social media directed at 15,000 athletes and officials at the Paris Olympics next month. The AI tool will offer extensive monitoring, and the measures will cover all kinds of abuse, not just political attacks. In Kenya, some people are exploring the emerging technology of 3D printing for home construction. A machine layers special mortar to form concrete walls and cuts the building time by several days compared to traditional brick and mortar work. A company called 14 Trees has used the technology to build a showcase house in Nairobi and 10 houses in coastal Kilifi County. The company's CEO says the technology can help address the huge housing needs on the African continent, though it will take time.
Yeah, in spite of the great potential of 3D printing technology, it will still take a long time for it to be able to compete with the brick and mortar. Brick and mortar, everybody can build their house anywhere they are. They're able to access the materials, they're able to access the tradesmen who are able to build their house, and they can plan the cost, they can plan how much money they have, they can build in phases. 3D printing as a technology as it is currently doesn't offer all those options. So it makes it very difficult to be the silver bullet to solve the affordable housing challenge, in spite of its huge potential.
The UN has warned that AI technology is helping to create false stories about World War II atrocities, including Holocaust denial, risking an explosive spread of anti-Semitism. UNESCO's report highlights instances where hackers rigged chatbots to spread Nazi ideology, and others where bots dreamt up their own stories around the Holocaust. UNESCO has called for governments and tech companies to introduce ethical safeguards around AI technology and for schools to spread the word about the risks of AI-generated content.
Well, that's all we have for you in this episode of Tech It Out. We will continue to bring you exciting inventions and updates on the latest gadgets. I will be back soon. Until then, keep watching WION World is One. And yes, don't forget to follow us on social media. For now, it's me, Ankit Tuteja, signing off.